We're joining Zane again to take a look at our forecast, and I think maybe we're in for a break.
Yeah, we are. Like you said, water levels going down. That's good because there was a ton of it here over the past several days. Todd, look at all the colors splattered on this map here. Those are radar estimates over the past week of rainfall across the state of Iowa. So anywhere you see yellow, that's 2 inches plus. The orange to red colors, that's like 3, 4, or 5 inches. The purplish pink colors is 6-inch estimates across much of the state, or at least good sized portions over the past several days. Now, the estimates of the radar usually end up being a little bit higher sometimes than what the ground truth is, but even some of the rain gauges around the area, they're really high, over 6.5 inches in Grinnell. You saw Ophelia's story from Kellogg just west of there, not far away. That's part of the problem. Tons and tons of rain last week. Pella over 5 inches, Ankeny, Ames just short of 5, almost 3 inches even at the Des Moines International Airport. A lot of times those airport rain gauges undercount because well, they can't keep up sometimes with the heavy rain. Now tomorrow, it's not going to be heavy rain. It's not going to be widespread, but there will be the chance of an isolated storm or two, including maybe one that could pack a stronger wind gust or two in that level 1 risk area across northern and eastern Iowa that we talked about earlier. That's mainly tomorrow afternoon. Pretty quiet though tonight. Just some residual cloud cover from some storms that left Iowa into Missouri earlier this evening. A couple more waves of energy though moving our way for tonight and into tomorrow. First one is across the eastern Dakotas and into parts of Nebraska. The second one is that kind of swirl as you watch the loop over in parts of western North Dakota and northeastern Montana. That one is our afternoon's chance of a couple of storms for tomorrow on Memorial Day. So as we go through the rest of tonight, you see that first wave tries to generate a few clouds, maybe an isolated sprinkle or a shower into the early morning hours tomorrow across northwest Iowa. Nothing significant there. Then as we head through the day tomorrow, the second wave sort of pinwheels across the northern and eastern parts of the state into the afternoon. Slim chance of an isolated storm, isolated stronger wind gusts, not out of the realm of possibility, and just some blustery winds too out of the north and west, even if you're not near a storm. Those will then die off once we head past sunset tomorrow. There's another slim chance of a shower on Tuesday as well, but again, most folks dry for most of the day. These are kind of 20 to 30% probabilities. And then I think Wednesday is going to be the fully dry day for everybody, no matter where you're at in the state of Iowa, for the whole day. That'll be something to look forward to. Fully dry conditions and not bad weather either. Temperatures in the 70s and not too much humidity either. We're getting to that time of year where you kind of got to keep an eye on that because it'll make a difference. So tomorrow, not bad, minus the little bit of wind out of the north and west. Keep an eye out during the afternoon, especially if you're farther north and east, of an isolated storm or two. Once we head into the 8-day forecast, then your dry stretch, most of Tuesday, definitely Wednesday, most of Thursday, and then late Thursday onward toward the first part of the weekend, we'll have more showers and thunderstorms return back into the forecast, making our weather at least a little bit more interesting once again.